Well, hello everyone. I'd like to say welcome to Darrell's Corner. This is my name is Darrell. Of course, everyone knows the Tina Group, and we are now launching our first podcast. Okay, very excited about this. And today, our first guest is Mr. TF Congleton. He is the Vice President and Chief Credit Officer of the Institute Capital, ICAP. Okay, but little house cleaning first. I want to thank, first of all, Mr. TF here, but I want to thank also Mr. Kevin J. Price, who is the president of Institute Capital, who saw and met with him. We talked to him about opportunities of bringing a podcast, on board, and he immediately saw our vision, saw what we wanted to do. And I want to give a shout out to Mr. Kevin J. Price, the president of ICAP, for giving us a wonderful opportunity. We are now have a studio located here as a part of ICAP on the Falls of News Road in the Entrepreneur Center. And I want to say, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. Now, this podcast is about bringing entrepreneurs together, but also bringing resources together. Okay, now again, I want to introduce also, as announced, that Mr. Thomas Wise, our Chief Engineer of Soundscape Studios, who's bringing this opportunity as our engineer, and we're hoping to expand this in other areas and other locations. So with that out of the way, I first want to say what our podcast is about in Darrell's Corner. We have a variety, working with a lot of entrepreneurs throughout. But one of our things that we work in is our niche market is agriculture. Now, we're going to talk about agriculture, non-agriculture, and all about entrepreneur and business development. So that's why Darrell's Corner is all about business development, okay? But today, we're going to talk about opportunities within businesses, but also as we're in agribusiness, okay? And these are going to be components that we have, okay? So without further ado, let me introduce you to Mr. TF Congleton. As I said earlier, he is the Vice President and Chief Credit Officer of the Institute Capital. I'll let him tell you more about Institute Capital. And throughout this podcast, we're going to talk about the wonderful opportunities that ICAP is offering business owners, agribusiness, non-agribusiness owners. But Mr. TF, take it away.
Well, Darrell, thanks so much for having me. Of course, this is our first podcast, and so it's an honor to be one of your first recipients of this podcast.
The honor's all ours.
Yeah. So I definitely hope that you invite Kevin J. Price, our CEO. I can assure you that he looks forward to being on a future podcast, because he has so much to offer, yes, and so much information about the Institute on a global scale. Mm-hmm. I'm just one piece of it with Institute Capital as the Chief Credit Officer. Also, I'd like for you in the future to have... This is Roberta McCullough, who is my boss. She's the Senior Vice President, Chief Operating Officer for Institute Capital. And she comes with a wealth of knowledge about nonprofit lending and just overall knowledge about women's business centers and you name it. Because we're also the owners of 4 women's business centers throughout North Carolina and Virginia. So we're really proud of the work that we do. We totally exist to serve the underserved small business market. And I happen to think that the minority agribusiness sector is definitely a benefactor of our services as we prepare to provide lending services to minority farmers throughout North Carolina, South Carolina, and other states that are within our footprint. So we're real excited about that.
Well, TF, our work is across the country, including territories, okay?
Exactly.
And one of the things that we focus on is that underserved community, okay? And you have always been a strong supporter within that footprint, and I'm sure you will continue. So we want to kind of tell us about the programs that's offered. Now, I want to make this very clear. We talk about, agribusiness, we talk about business, but business across is how can I say, is uniform, whether it's agribusiness or not agribusiness. So we want our listeners today to understand, maybe we're talking about agribusiness today, but we also, I tell people all the time in our conference, take the word agri-farming is still business. This is not, I don't want people to say, well, they only talking about agriculture, No, this is business. But today, in many other podcasts we're going to have, it's going to be both. We just focus on programs within agribusiness. But again, ICAP serve all businesses. We want to say that very clearly.
Exactly.
So, Jeff, if you want to start, tell us what some of the programs that you have that can offer to benefit the resources. What we try to do at TF Group, bring down resources, not only the services but the resources. That's what resources we have. We can begin with today.
So we put together a agribusiness lending program that encompasses all types of lending. You know, as a farmer, you know, you need farm implements, equipment. So we have loan products to provide loans for their combines and other types of equipment that a farmer may need. We certainly offer lines of credit for their crop production. Most farmers have farmland and their home place is usually on that farm. And so it's really important that we provide funding for the farmer to be able to retain their property. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest problems that minority farmers have is their inability to retain their farmland. Believe it or not, I'm actually a fifth generation farmer. My father and mother, they were commodity growers. Mm-hmm. It was a lifestyle for them.
Wow, please tell me more about that.
But they never saw farming as a business. Mm-hmm. You know, they just really saw it as a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that they did, I mean, you know, my parents died money poor, but land rich. So they were, you know, so I was able to acquire all of their farmland, mm-hmm. which is unprecedented for mm-hmm. Black farmers throughout this country. They just have a hard time retaining their land. Mm-hmm. So as a banker, as a educated, trained banker of almost 4 decades, mm-hmm. I was able to parlay my banking knowledge and convert what my parents called commodity growing, tobacco, soybeans, mm-hmm. peanuts, and things of that nature, to a production growing, mm-hmm. Contract growing business apparatus. Mm-hmm. So for the first time in 5 generations in my family, the farm then became an actual business, mm-hmm. and not, you know, a quote unquote lifestyle. Because mm-hmm. I told my dad when I left and went to college, I said, Dad, you know, I love you, but I'm not gonna be a farmer. You know, farmer is not gonna be my thing. You mm-hmm. know. And he said, well, son, you know, you're the baby of the family. You know, I'm gonna leave you all the farmland and everything. But I got a feeling you'll do something with it, you know. I said, well, Dad, I know one thing I'm not going to do, mm-hmm. and that is come back and be a farmer. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, went to college, became a successful banker, built a home just minutes away from the farm, driving by it almost every day. Mm-hmm. 20 years go by, and then all of a sudden I get this brain, mm-hmm. Thought that, hey, I need to do something with this farmland. What is it that I'm going to do? I promised my dad I would never sell it. Yeah. Now I have children. Mm-hmm. So what can I do in order to leave a legacy for my children? Mm-hmm. Maybe even a 7th generation. Mm-hmm. And so I came up with the idea of, you know what, let's just make this a business. Okay. And let's look at getting contracts and mm-hmm. finding opportunities. So mm-hmm. I started talking to the Food Lions and the Publix of the world and the Walmarts and the Amazons of the world. Mm-hmm. And it was really easy to find contract opportunities. Yeah. So they would tell me what to grow, I would grow it, mm-hmm. And so almost 25 years have gone by and I'm still growing on a contract basis for organizations. So I just thought that this idea could also be parlayed to other farmers, the farmers that are still thinking soybean, tobacco, peanuts, and cotton. Let's look at other ways to make money. Let's look at multiple streams of income to make money. Yep. So I began to just talk to different farmers out there and just try to get them convinced that, hey, a great crop might be bamboo. Mm-hmm. you know, you can still do your tobacco if you want, but you got that extra land there, grow some bamboo, you know, try some other things. And so it kind of became sort of a pet peeve of mine to really try to get farmers thinking a little bit different and more business minded versus just seeing farming as a lifestyle. So then by me being a banker, I was able to think about ways to be able to provide funding to them. And so under ICAP, we really committed to seeing how we could be better lenders to farmers that may want to do other things than just growing, you know, the conventional tobacco and soybeans, peanuts, and cotton and things of that nature.
Well, TF, when I worked together over the years, you know, you pointed some key issues here that we're going to address. And one of them, I want to start by saying this word called agribusiness, okay? And I want farmers to understand and agriculture to understand. I'll always use this philosophy now. We have to redefine the word agriculture and define agribusiness, okay? And that's what we've traveled, you know, across this country doing. I'm very pleased to have one of my team members here, my chief of staff and development director of development training, Rosin Matei, here with us to do as well. As what we're trying to do, we're trying to get people to understand that we're agribusiness, okay? And the biggest problem that we've seen across this country and the territory is record keeping, you know? Understanding how when we get people ready for opportunities, as your wonderful organization is granting people this privilege and opportunity now, you got to be ready, okay? You got to understand, not only with the tenure group, you got to understand taxation, financial statements, as we always say, record keeping. Exactly. We're going to touch base about what does it mean to have crop insurance, payroll. All these things are essential in developing agribusiness, developing an understanding of agribusiness. As Mr. TF spoke about, you know, contract, we say contract farming, other opportunities and stuff. We want your business to be ready for that.
Exactly.
Okay? So when we get your business structure in order and when we start looking at opportunities, when they come to you, they need to be ready.
Exactly.
They need to be financially ready, structural ready, documentations, proof, making sure that when we prepare people for agribusiness to explore additional opportunities, they understand you have to come to you ready, prepared. You know? So can you tell some of the things that you're going to look for when opportunities was exist? They come to you. What are some of the things they must have and must be prepared for?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, let me just say that the days of putting your business financials on the back of a napkin are gone. You know, really and truly. And there's no financial institution, including ours, that a farmer or any small business owner can go to and get funding unless you have the proper documentation. You know, you got to have good tax returns. You have to have good financials, income statements, and balance sheets. And those income statements and balance sheets need to be prepared professionally. You've got to have a good, solid overall business plan. And I tell small businesses about small businesses all the time. Whether you are just starting out today or whether you've been in business 50 years, you must have a business plan because that becomes your roadmap. That is your roadmap to success. It's a living document. This is a document that changes every day. But more importantly, it gives the lender the opportunity to visualize you on paper and to visualize what your business is all about. It's one way to be able to articulate it just verbally, but you've got to be able to show proof of your business in writing, because that's what a financial institution is going to be looking for. And that's the only way they can make the best credit decision for you as well, is to have your evidence. The good thing is organizations like yours can provide that kind of technical assistance to the small business forum. We also provide technical assistance through our women's business centers. A farmer can also go to the local community college or local university to their small business centers and get free information about how to grow their business and what their projected numbers and performance are going to look like. That stuff is really, really, really important. And so many times I get businesses coming to me wanting to borrow money, only that they don't know what they need the money for, because they don't have any empirical evidence of what they're going to use the dollars for. They just know they need $250,000, you know. And so it's a constant educational process that that one has to have a lot of patience to help small businesses learn and develop and accept the fact that I've got to produce the right kind of evidence. I can't do it today. Not telling you no. I can't do it today, but these are the things I need for you to provide for me, so that tomorrow when you come, we can have a more intelligent conversation about it.
Well, this podcast is about the resources, but yes, we do offer those services for our clients, farmers, business owners, and business owners across the country. And one of the things that we want I want our audience to understand, the biggest thing that we see when people come to us, and you hit the nail dead on the head, as for lack of a better analogy, they don't know how much money or what the money's for. And one thing I tell business owners, don't go into an institution such as yours and ask for $10,000 when you know you need $50,000.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of times lenders and a lot of times our communities, we've been set up to fail. Exactly. You know, and I've seen this so many times here. You know, when borrowers go to an institution, which we try to educate people on lines of credit, which we do offer as well, but they don't have the financials or budgets to understand what do you really need.
Exactly.
I have people say to me all the time, say, well, TF, can you help me establish a budget? Then I ask for documentation, they don't have it. But I tell people the simplest way to structure a budget, if you have your taxation from last year, categorize correctly the best you can, divided by 12. Taxation is only taxed on what's left over.
Exactly.
And if you don't have anything left over, there's no taxes to pay. But one of the things I want people to understand is that we got to stop not keeping accurate records, because it reduces our opportunity with institutions like yours.
Not only that, the government's going to find out anyway.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do to hide from the government.
Absolutely not.
You may have a little short-term ability to hide, but eventually they're going to catch up to you.
Absolutely.
You know? And so, so many times, I get small businesses, I only made $10,000 last year on paper, but I really made $150,000, and now I need to borrow, $100,000. And I tell them, I can only go by what you're showing on paper.
Absolutely.
You told me what you made, but the evidence is on your paper, on your tax returns, that you only netted $10,000. I said, and so I can't qualify you for $150,000. So, so listen, the whole issue is you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Absolutely.
Either you're gonna dodge the IRS, or you're not gonna be able to get the funding you need in order to grow your business. It's as simple as that. So it's a constant education process with small businesses in that they simply need to understand is put your numbers down, pay your taxes. It's gonna always come back to you on the positive side at the end. You cannot escape, Uncle Sam. It's just impossible.
We get people all the time, TF come often say, well, I got this 1099, and is that taxable? Absolutely. And then many times they say, well, I'm not going to report it because I don't want the IRS to know I got it. Well, I tell them, if it's in your hand, the IRS already know you got it.
I already know.
But we want to show you how to reduce legal tax reduction so that you can report your actual income, but limit yourself on what your tax liability exposure may be. The application process, is this a long application process?
It's really simple. We send you a link. The applicant completes the link. It generates a specialized application link just for them. That gets sent to them, and then they go in and start the application process. They can upload their documents. Usually what we do is we follow up with an email, and we will specify the documents that we're looking for, which normally includes a personal financial statement, 3 years of tax returns, most recent profit and loss and balance sheet for the current year. If there's any collateral information about that collateral, whether it be a tax card, a appraisal, what have you, surveys. We always want to know about the legal structure. Are you LLC or are you incorporated or a partnership? We want to look at those documents and get those documents in hand.
This is as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like I said, we have 4 women's business centers throughout Virginia and North Carolina. They exist solely to provide technical assistance to our prospects and clients. And they're really good at it. Each women's business center has an executive director and a program manager. And they're very good at helping the client put together prospectus, feasibility studies, impact data. And by the way, we also have a data center that provides all kind of empirical data to our clients. That the kind of data that they can't get elsewhere, or the kind of data that they would have to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for. So this information gives our clients a heads up and an advantage in order to to be ahead of the game with respect to information. So we're very information driven. We're very much willing to help our clients get to the point where they can now start requesting borrowing. And so when a client comes to us, it's rarely is there a no there. It's always, how can we help get you to the point to where now you're ready to start borrowing money. And that's because we've taken you to these different steps. And the steps may include your organization. It may include the Small Business Center, may include Women's Business Center. It may include all 3 of you.
Wow.
Whatever it takes, we're willing to do.
Well, one thing I can safely say, applicants don't have to be afraid to come, ask questions, seek help. Now, you talked about the Women's Business Center. Now for our listening audience, we love all aspects. But can you want to just briefly tell how that Women's Business Center?
Yeah. So the Women's Business Centers, it's just what they're all called. Of course, they cater to women-owned businesses, but any small business can go there and get the same service. But their favorite, obviously, are women-owned businesses, and we know women-owned businesses as well.
Really?
Most women-owned businesses are very successful. They're very well organized, but history has not been good to women businesses. They've been discriminated against. You name it.
Absolutely.
And so we at the Institute, we take all that away. There's no discrimination. We do everything we can to help them thrive and prosper. So that's mainly why they're called the women's businesses. The other reason is that's what SBA prefers that they be called, because they are the funders of the small business centers. So they fund the different women business centers for us. Right now we have 4, 1 in Virginia, 3 throughout North Carolina, and hoping in the future to acquire more throughout Virginia, Maryland, and maybe even Georgia and Tennessee. Those are part of our footprint. So we're trying to grow nationally and potentially internationally. As you well know, we are engaged very heavily with the nation of Tanzania, and our hope is to interlink American small businesses with their needs, and the Institute kind of serve as an interconduit between the two. So in a couple of months, we're going to be flying to Tanzania with a delegation of small business owners. I think you're going to be one of those. And so we're very excited about that program. But that just lets you know the magnitude of the things that we're doing, accomplishing as an organization.
And the opportunities that women business, all business owners, as we're talking about Women Business Development Center, women businesses have the opportunity to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And one of the things that Tanzania is very, very much interested in are the minority farmers, coffee growers, bamboo, hemp, broccoli, peppers, cauliflower, any plant-based material that helps us in this plant-based atmosphere that we're now into. Tanzania is very much interested in that.
And as we spoke about the opportunities within the agriculture sector, but non-agricultural women too, there's other opportunities for outside it. So complete exposure opportunities for all business owners. Okay, that have specific markets and stuff.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that we're very proud of that fact is that we recognize these niche markets, niche areas and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, one area that I have a strong passion in and strong passion are veterans. Do y'all have any particular thing for veterans in his own sense? But I understand they're all a part of the application.
Yeah, we work very closely with veterans because they deliver some really, really solid ideas.
Absolutely.
And we don't have like VA program per se for them, but we're very in tune to what veterans are trying to do. Many of them are extremely well trained. I'll give you one example is I have a veteran that started a cybersecurity firm out of Charlotte. He and his buddy, and they've become very successful. They're doing cybersecurity for the nation of Canada, Great Britain, CIA, the Department of National Intelligence. They're doing really good cybersecurity work, and they're African American and Filipino American. And the African American, he was a veteran, and he learned this trade being in the Navy. I believe he was in the Navy, and so that just lets you know the diversity of small businesses that we work with, not just the conventional bar owner or sports bar or things like that that's being typecast for most Black businesses. We have cybersecurity firms, we have event centers, childcare centers. I'm funding right now a group that has a big contract with Fort Liberty, which was formerly Fort Bragg. They're going to be doing all of their vending machines throughout the largest Army base in the world is Fort Liberty, and he and his son are going to be operating all the vending machines there. And so it's just to name a few, some of the businesses that we work with.
It sounds like you have a very, very diverse portfolio. Of business.
Diverse.
And that's one of the things that we want to work with, as from the Tenant Agriculture Group, is that we want people to understand diversity, in business, but diversity within your business is very important.
No question about it.
Diverse streams of income, working with diverse markets and stuff. Okay? But one of the biggest things, as another thing that we want to encourage people to understand, is how to become an entrepreneur. Now, we all have our own opinions, about our current administrations, our changes of administrations and stuff. But I feel that this is an opportunity that we should encourage entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Do y'all have programs that y'all work with, as we set in the facility here today for entrepreneurs? Is there any elaboration you want to put about entrepreneurship?
Yeah, well, it's sort of encompassed around everything. If you're an entrepreneur and you either just starting out, we have SBA, which provides guarantees. We're a preferred SBA lender now. For seasoned entrepreneurs, they can sit down with us. We go over, what they're looking to do in terms of growth. And just try to redefine what it is that they want to do. And at the end of the day, entrepreneur is a real fancy word, but all it means is a person that creates a business around something they love to do. It might be cookie baking. So you just become the best chocolate chip cookie maker on the planet. That's an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
So we try to promote and enhance the growth of an individual that's looking to just build their business up. And again, education is the key. Providing them with empirical data is the key. And just being there for them. That's what we do. That's what we're very good at. And like I said, we've been doing it now for over 39 years.
Well, I can say this to you very, as my testimony that in working with Institute Capital, working with you, you know, the opportunities I've had, you know, thank to Kevin, Mr. Kevin Price, President as well. But it's only been exceptional. You know? And the clients that, you know, we work with and send over there have been very pleased. And so I would like to personally give my shout outs, you know, to the Institute Capital for the efforts and initiatives that are put in place here and the great leadership that y'all have in store within, you know, within our community. So I want our listening audience to understand opportunities are here for people today. Okay?
Absolutely.
Opportunities are here for us today. And understanding that we have institutions and like, you know, Institute Capital, ICAP, like I said, is there for you.
Yeah.
Now, but at the end of the day now, you have to do your due diligence.
Absolutely.
In preparing for these opportunities.
Absolutely.
Okay. You know, I'm a strong believer. You know, you can't wait for something to fall out of the sky.
Exactly.
You know? So
you got to be willing to listen.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
If an entrepreneur or business owner that won't listen, there's no way they can be successful.
Absolutely.
Listen to what the lender or the banker is asking of you or is suggesting of you. It's never to criticize, it's never to hurt an individual, but it's always good to get another perspective.
Absolutely.
And so the individual can say, hey, you know, I didn't really think of it from that angle. Maybe I should try that. An open-minded business owner is going to always be a successful business owner.
Absolutely. And TF, I'm gonna say, you know, I've had one philosophy when people come into our firm is that I tell people all the time, if you come in here and concentrate on the money, you're never gonna make it. You got to concentrate on the people.
Exactly.
The people, the industry, the market that you're servicing, the people that work with, that's where your concentrate to be. How do you satisfy that? The money will follow.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say, you know, this is again, you know, great testimonies that you're stating and the services that the opportunities that y'all provide and offer. I think it's wonderful. You know, and I said now, this is our first podcast, Darrell's Corner, and we're about bringing resources to people and identifying resources and opportunity to people. You know, people heard from around the country. You know, so this is not about, we will have, you know, shows on, you know, the structural developments and all the stuff that's going on within our economy and I would say world today. But the biggest thing that we want to do with the Darrell's Corner, our you know, initial launch is introduce you to people, wonderful people like Mr. TF Congleton of, you know, Capital Institute. And let me say, to Mr. Kevin and Ms. Roberta, you got open invitation.
All right.
They got open
They'll
invitation.
love that. Absolutely.
We can't wait, you know, to bring you in individuals all together. And you always got open invitation here. New programs, new opportunities. We like to maybe bring you in to piggyback on some of the financial programs and opportunities.
Absolutely.
Because I'm gonna tell you something now. You know, we hear the challenges. You know, it's going to be a challenge here on some of the things that's going on. You know,
different world.
It's a different world now.
Yeah.
So, but we feel strongly that, you know, you guys are there.
We're not going anywhere.
Exactly. And we're not going anywhere.
I don't care what the government situation is or will be.
Yeah.
The Institute will be here.
Well,
we're not going anywhere.
Well, we are very, very pleased to have Mr. TF Congleton in Institute Capital as our first guest. You know, hopefully this goes down in history.
Mine has been fun.
Yeah. As launching it. So this is brand new for us now. This is brand new for me, you know. And so, but our goal here is to bring resources to our business owners, our prospective business owners, our existing business owners, and we want to encourage entrepreneurship throughout the country. But with our firm, you know, our motto is you're in the business, we take care of the company. And in taking care of the company, we introduce you to people as yourself, you know, as what we're doing here. So I want to say,
thank you for having me.
Well, we thank you for being here. This is not the last time now.
No,
it's my buddy. I can say my friend. We've been all the time.
No question about it.
So we want you to reach out to us. And our phone number is 919-217-0933. That is the Tenant Group, our corporate office firm, and our email is at tenantgroup@thethenantgroup.com. Now, as I stated to you earlier, this is our brand new first podcast. I can't thank TF enough for being here, but we should be having very soon, some more direct lines and direct emails in which we will be launching. So one thing we want to encourage our listening artists is give us a call. Tell us what you want to hear about. If you want TF back again, tell me when you want it back. We'll bring him back again. But tell us what you want to hear. Tell us the information and resource you need. We will be announcing our online. As I want to introduce you to TF, we do have our new online programs, training, development.
Awesome.
Thank you to our director of business relations. Director of online training, as well as the chief of staff, Ms. Rosalyn Mathay. So we want you to give us your information, your emails as we start launching this thing. So again, bear with us as we get this thing started, but we are ready to go. We want to serve the country as we do now. So TF, I can only say thank you so much, my friend, my buddy.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming. And so we want to, as many people we can work with and direct your way, we want to keep them coming, okay? So I can tell you, this will not be TF last time here on our podcast.
If I could give the audience my website.
I was going to say, please.
So go to www.theinstitutenc.org, and there you can see all about us, our mission statement, all of our management team, the rest of our team members are on there. I'm on there.
So I think I want you to look at that camera.
So feel free to go to the site and check us out.
You want to repeat that?
Yeah, it's www.theinstitutenc.org. And you'll be able to see everything about the Institute and Institute Capital on our site.
Is there a particular phone number? Is there a phone available? Email is probably better.
Yeah, my personal email, my Institute email would be tcongleton@theinstitutenc.org. tcongleton@theinstitutenc.org. Shoot me an email.
All right. Well, to everyone, thank you for listening. Please, we ask you to encourage you to tell one other person about us, okay? We want to grow this thing. We serve we travel the entire country and territories now, and so we're trying to bring information, resources. But one thing that we're trying to do, we're trying to bridge that gap across the country. We're trying to bridge that gap of communication. We want to bridge that gap with industries, different industries working together. But we also want to bridge that gap with different ethnicities or whatever we want to call it working together. And so that's our purpose here. Okay, so. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. And we look forward to seeing you the next time. Okay, thank y'all so much. Have a good day.